on from this call as well, so you'll have a chance to review it. And look, if it's a case that you get off the call and you don't have any questions at the end, if you think of one or two throughout the week or over the weekend, you can pop me an email. I'm more than happy to come back to you. So in terms of yourself, what's required is a certified copy of your long form birth certificate, a certified copy of your long form marriage certificate. You'll need 3 recent proofs of address. So you can use a utility bill, a letter from your doctor, a letter from an insurer. We will need 6 recent months of bank statements. Are you employed, Kathleen?
I work as a substitute teacher, so perfect. I'm not. It's not. I don't work all the time, but I work occasionally. As I travel back and forth to England quite a bit right now.
Yeah. Would that be through an agency that you have that employment, or are you employed by a certain school?
I'm employed by a certain school.
Okay. So what we'll need is a letter of employment. And what that is it's basically a personal statement. And sorry, I'm just going to pop you on mute there real quick. So it's a letter of employment. So basically a letter on headed paper outlining what your position is when you start in the position, what your salary is, and a brief description of your role. We'll then need 3 recent pay slips. Okay. A tax clearance certificate. So the equivalent would be a Form 1040 from the IRS. Okay, then what they will look for is a police clearance certificate. So you can
Maddie,
get that from the FBI
really
online,
listening.
or you can get it at your local precinct. And then we'll look for a written statement of support outlining your Irish associations. Now, what that is it's basically a personal statement, and I get my clients to do it in an essay-style format. Okay, starting with a brief outline of their lineage, then going on to discuss any Irish clubs or societies they're a part of, or were ever a part of. Any trips to Ireland, I get them to discuss that at length. And I'm sure your father instilled many traditions and values in you, so you can discuss all of that, and then just close the statement by outlining what your intentions would be should you be granted your citizenship. Now, I normally ask my clients to send it on to me via Word document so I can have a review of it and give any feedback I feel would be beneficial to the application prior to submission. Okay, so then moving on to the application forms. The application form is a Form 8. They've recently put this application form up online. So what we will do is we'll send you the application form via email. We ask that you fill it out as a draft and send it back to us via email. And we'll upload all of the information onto the relevant governmental online system. We'll then send you on a declaration page that you'll have to have completed by either a notary, a solicitor, or a commissioner of oaths. Now, that same person will make a certified copy of your passport, and they're going to sign and date the back of 2 out of the 4 passport photographs that are required. Now, those 3 documents have an expiration date of 6 months, so we would tell you when all of that needed to be done. So there's no need to go running into any notaries just yet. So then the application fee is €175, and that's payable by Euro bank draft. Okay, now we can order that on your behalf. It's €185 if we're to do so. So €175 for the bank draft and €10 to order from the bank. Another section on the application form is section 14, and that's with regards to the Irish references. So section 14 consists of there's 6 boxes. So they just fill out their name and their name and their contact number. Okay, now 9 times out of 10 the department doesn't contact them, but they very may well do so. So that's everything for yourself. So then moving on to your father, Kathleen, what you'll need is a certified copy of his long form birth certificate, a certified copy of his marriage certificate, a certified copy of his foreign birth entry, and a certified copy of his death certificate. And then for your grandfather, you'll need a certified copy of his birth certificate, a certified copy of his marriage certificate, and a certified copy of his death certificate. And then the exact same for your great-grandmother, so birth, marriage, and death, all certified copies. So that's all of the documentation. In terms of the process, what happens following on from today's call is if you're happy to go ahead with our services, my colleague Laura is going to reach out to yourself. She will issue out our terms of engagement, which is essentially our contract. So you just have a read through of it and make sure you're happy with everything. She'll issue a breakdown of our fee estimate, so it'll include our professional fees, any governmental charges, and then the admin and banking charges. Now, those last two charges are applicable to all clients throughout the firm. They're just a set fee. She'll request a €500 retainer payment, and that €500 does come off the final invoice at the end. She'll also request a scanned proof of ID and a scanned proof of address. So your passport or driver's license, whichever you prefer your photograph in, and a bank statement or utility bill is absolutely fine. Once you've gathered those documents, your file will lump with myself, and Laura will be assisting on the file. We'll then issue out our letter of advices, which is essentially a relay of today's call, going through the documentation and the process. Once you have gathered all of the relevant documents, we ask that you send them to us via scanned email PDF, and we'll do a review to the best that we can over a screen. Okay, we'll draft up the application form and we'll send you on the signature pages. Once you've gotten the witness documentation completed, we'll ask that you send all of the witness documents and all of the lineage documents and your own relevant documents to our offices in Dublin, where we do an extensive review. We do up our legal letter of submission and we issue our final invoice. Once that invoice is paid, we finalise the application, package it and submit it to the department on your behalf. Now, the current timeframes for your application, Kathleen, you're looking at about 24 to 30 months before a decision is reached, okay? We do just, although the final invoice has been paid, Jack is just joining now. Is Jack your brother, Kathleen?
He's a son.
That's my son.
Oh, perfect. Well, here he is. Hi, Jack. How are you?
Doing okay. Just woke up. Sorry.
No, you're okay. You're okay. I'm just nearly finished going through your mother's application, so you've just caught the end of it here. So in terms then of, so like I said, once that invoice is paid, we'll finalise, package it and submit to the department, and you're looking at about 24 to 30 months for a decision to be reached. Although that final invoice has been paid, we will continue to follow up with the department. So we follow up kind of every 6 to 8 months. Like I said, it's a discretional application, so we don't want to be seen as a hindrance nearly. So we don't want to be following up too frequently that they kind of get annoyed at us. So we feel every 6 to 8 months is, that's a nice time to give them. I always say to my clients, look, you let it sit for a year. We'll follow up after 6 months and after a year if you want to supplement your application. So whether that be you've travelled over to Ireland again, you've attended any Irish clubs or society events, an additional reference, whatever the case may be, we can supplement the application to make it stronger. Okay, if it's to get to 24 months, we'd follow up a bit more frequently. And if it's to exceed the 30-month mark, although we can't compel the minister to make a decision, we can certainly be requesting specified updates. Okay, if it's a case you were to be rejected, you do get a letter outlining the reasons as to why and how they came to that decision. There's no appeals process, but you can put in a new application, if you want to amend, shall we say, the reasons behind that rejection. If you're to be approved, which would hopefully be the case, okay, I do think you have a strong application. So if you were to be approved, you'd be required to make the payment of €950 to the Department of Justice, a scanned copy of your passport, more passport photographs, and you would be required to attend a citizenship ceremony in Ireland, which I don't think anyone's going to be too upset about. And then you just apply for your passport after that.
Amazing. Okay, thank you so much for all this information.
No problem. Is there any questions, Kathleen?
I think so, Tom. I think we should discuss, sweetie, and then get back to them, or should we?
Well, the information is sent by email, right?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So, Kathleen, I'm just going to check that I have your email address because all the terms will be sent to you. So I have kateskindergarten@yahoo.com.
That's correct. Yes, thank you.
Perfect, no problem at all. So look, I'll have all this sent to you today, and then my colleague Laura will be in contact with yourselves. It'll either be today or tomorrow. And look, if you think of any questions in the meantime, pop me an email and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. What I will just say is, unfortunately, following on from the call today, I will not be in a position to review any documents or answer any specified questions until you formally engage us. After you formally engage us, if you want me to review absolutely everything, that's what I'm here for, okay? But for the moment, Megan, I wouldn't be able to. Yep.
Give us a couple examples of things which are looked upon favorably, to waive this. What kind of the things that we've done in Ireland are manifest, many things. But what kind of things? I mean, we've attended mass. I mean, we've been all over the country. I mean, what kinds of things are interesting to yeah.
To be honest, I think the main thing, Tom, is that they look to see that despite living abroad, you've immersed yourself into Irish cultures and communities, which you've clearly done. So by living in China and you've taken part in an Irish dancing group and helped organise the first St. Patrick's Day parade over there, that's a huge thing and a huge achievement to have done. Okay, it shows that not only are you immersing yourself into Irish cultures and communities, but it's also bringing two different cultures together that wasn't done previously in the area that you were in. You've obviously influenced your son and your children by him attending Notre Dame University. So, that's also a huge thing. You've travelled over to Ireland. Look, what I will say is a lot of people get onto these calls and they've never travelled to Ireland. They've never been part of a club or society. They think they have a great grandparent from Ireland. Their parents never obtained their citizenship. So, it's when I get calls like that, I say, look, go off, work on it and come back. Now, look, obviously we can't guarantee a positive outcome, but to me, your application is probably one of the stronger ones that I've seen come in. So look, like I said, I can't guarantee it, but I would definitely say you've got a strong chance going into the department.
Super. Another question I had, and I really appreciate that. And I see that Lorna is actually on the call. I want to reach out and just say thank you to Lorna. As well as she is, unless she's is that the recording mechanism for the call, perhaps?
No, she is on for training purposes, so she will hopefully be taking some of these calls now in the new year.
I wish you all the very best and good luck in your training and how you're doing in your life. Thank you. Lots of blessings to both of you. I wanted to just mention one thing. Kate is an amazing teacher. She was a full-time teacher, was a substitute teacher, but in the last year or so, she's done a lot less substitute teaching, taking care of the little one who's 6'5", right? And so she may not have pay stubs that are this recent, and she hasn't done as much substitute teaching recently. And if we just said that she's taking care of our home, I mean, is that okay or not?
So what I would maybe recommend in that case, Tom, is look, Kate, you obviously have your own income coming in. Okay, it may not be as frequent as a normal job, but you have it coming in. So what we'd look for exactly what we've outlined to you, so that the pay slips and the letter of employment. But Tom, it might be an idea if you are providing for the household as well to include that. And they're not really looking to see what you're earning or how much you're earning. They're just making sure that you aren't going to be relying on the state. Exactly. That's what they're looking for. You hit the nail on the head there, Tom.
Yeah, I want to be just straight up. We're not going to be a burden on the state. We're just in love with the place, and through Kate's side of the family especially. And who knows? I had an orphan who was a grandmother, and I don't know where she was from, but I think she was from Ireland. Anyway,
well, look, if Kate gets hers, you can travel over with Kate on the basis of her citizenship. So you can.
Great. And how about the application of her children, then, our children together?
So unfortunately, your children don't have any entitlement to citizenship. Okay, look, there's nothing to say that they can't apply through great-great-grandparents, but we just haven't seen it done. Therefore, we don't take them on. Okay, we don't like wasting people's time or anything like that. But what I will say is there is the opportunity of work permits. So there's the opportunity to work over here or study here. And look, I would mainly deal with citizenship through descent. But if it is a case that any of your children are interested in going down the employment route or the study route, you have them pop me an email and we will arrange a call with one of our colleagues who does deal with the visa side of things and the stamps.
Oh, very interesting. So if the children of our children wanted to go down either an employment or study route, is that a route to a visa, or is it a route to a passport?
So what would happen is they would get their visa, okay, so their employment visa, and they come over here and work after working here for 5 years, or if one of them wishes to marry an Irish citizen. So if they're living here for 5 years, okay, they can then apply for their citizenship. If they're living here for 3 years and marry an Irish citizen, then they can apply for their citizenship.
Oh, fantastic. So do you guys do that kind of arrangement as well?
I was like, the marriage side, or? What's that?
No,
We don't do the marriages, but the citizenship stuff, we're here to help with any of that.
I'm just joking. It's fine.
So we are.
Thank you so much
Any
for the
other
clarification. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry that you can't see me because I think it's quite rude to be on a call and not be able to see the person. I really
Look,
dislike that.
You're okay. I was saying it's coming to the end of the year. The camera's like my camera wouldn't work for me the other day, so
Yeah.
I think it's just sick of looking at me at this stage.
Yeah. Well, I
She's really
really.
saying it's very sad that you have to only look at me.
No, not at all, not at all. But look, like I said, you'll have my email address, so pop me an email if you do think of any queries, and if your children do wish to go down that route, either you can reach out to me or they can reach out to me themselves, and we'll organise that call with them.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.
No problem at all. Look, enjoy the rest of your week, and hopefully we get to work with you soon.
Okay, have a great day. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Talk-
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye now.